Hey guys, over the past week I started rewatching every season of Victorious. I love the show Victorious. It's very funny and very musical. Some hilarity, cool music, cool cast, cool characters, a lot of cool funny jokes. What more do you ask for? I started watching the show back in 2012. I know it started airing in 2010 during the spring of 20 during March I think, but I was a senior in high school back then. Plus, I didn't have cable, so I didn't know nothing about the show. I knew what iCarly was. Then I know Victorious and iCarly exist in the same fictional universe, but I was never much of an iCarly fan. I did see a few episodes of iCarly. I like iCarly, but I'll get to that in another review if I ever binge watch that show one day. And I just like Victorious more. And this show centers on Victoria Justice, actor singer who was popular at the time and a Nickelodeon star. And I don't know why she never rose to fame much after Victorious ended, because I really like her. I mean, she's cool, she's talented, she's beautiful, and one of the main reasons I watched that show is because I had a crush on her after I first watched it. And anyway, I first started watching the show in 2012. I first saw like a clip here and there of it on YouTube, and I watched a clip of the opening theme song, and I thought the theme song was pretty cool. And then one day when me and my sister were watching TV at a hotel when we were on vacation, like my sister, I was flipping through the channels, and then Victorious was on Nickelodeon. She said, "Baba, I want to watch this show. It's very funny." And I was like, "Okay," and I watched it with her, and I laughed at it. It was an episode where they all have a sleepover at Cyclewood's house, and Trina also tries to get this cute boy's attention by delivering pizzas to his house. It was funny. Anyway, the main plot of the show is about a girl named Tori Vega, who played by Victoria Justice, and she has an older sister played by Daniela Monet, and her sister Trina, she has no talent despite going to a school for talented people called Hollywood Arts, and Tori just goes to a regular high school at first. This is in the pilot episode, and Trina makes these homemade herbs to try to make her singing voice better, but she has an allergic reaction to it. So Tori sings for her in a school talent show, and she sings the song that becomes the show's theme song, Make It Shine, which is one of my favorite songs. I love that song, never get tired of it. And the principal is impressed with her performance, and when he finds out she doesn't go to school there, he asks the audience to take a vote on whether she's good enough to go to school there or not, and they all vote that she is. So she goes there, and she meets the people who eventually become her friends group, but at first she's weirded out by them all, including like Robbie, a nerdy guy who has a puppet named Rex that he talks to. Like, Robbie's like his alter ego, his more sarcastic personality to hide his shy, nerdy personality, but there are also times and episodes where it's implied that Rex might actually be alive, and I love all the one-liners coming from Rex. And she meets this girl with hair dyed red named Kat, played by Ariana Grande, who's the star of Wicked now, and at first Kat acts all bipolar. She's like, "What's that supposed to mean?" and easily offended, but then she becomes like more of a ditzy, dim-witted girl with that says random stuff out of nowhere, and sometimes she tells crazy stories about her older brother, who's an unseen character, who's obviously has mental problems, and there's this cute guy named Bet Oliver, who's like the good-looking guy that all the girls want, but he's taken, and his girlfriend is Jade West, like a goth girl who likes to and all this like weird horror movies and dressing like a goth punk rock star, and she bullies people. She hates Tori upon seeing her, and then she plays a prank pouring iced coffee on her during an acting improv. And we also meet Sikowitz, who's the acting teacher, and he's a stereotypical hippie, but he's also very funny, and he also drinks milk from a coconut, which plays into the adult humor in the show. Like, the coconut milk makes him hallucinate, which is obviously an an inside reference to marijuana that only adults and teenagers will probably understand. But they couldn't say marijuana because, again, this is a show for kids and teenagers. But there are adult fans of the show like me. And I was an adult when I started watching it. I was 21 in 2012. Not me, I was 20 because it was 2012. But and my favorite person in the group is Andre, who is Tori's this black guy who dreadlocks, who's Tori's best friend. And you think that since they're best friends, maybe they're going to get together. But unfortunately, thank goodness they never do, because I prefer her with Beck. And it is revealed in later episodes that Beck and Tori do have feelings for each other, but you never see them get together, although they do, like, almost kiss in one episode. And in the pilot episode, they do kiss during an acting session. So, but it was improvised. Like, she said, "Kiss me," and he said, "Okay," and they kissed. And although it was improvised, you could tell that she wanted to do it, because she said, "I'm going to like this school." And the show was canceled midway through the third season, and I hate that. They didn't even end it properly. They just took part of the third season episodes and aired them as the fourth season. The last episode aired in early 2013 when... I'm glad they at least ended it when most of the cast was still kids, because I hate it when shows that are like have teenage main characters, they continue on until the actors are almost third in the... when they're all grown up, like in their mid to late 20s, like look too old to play a teenager. And so I'm glad they ended it whilst they were still teenagers. And when it ended, I remember Victoria Justice, she posted a thing on her website where she listed like what would have happened to the characters in an epilogue if she ended the show. And her ideas were a lot better than what Dan Schneider has. And speaking of Dan Schneider, I can't look at this show without thinking of him now, because, he's been exposed as a creep since that documentary came out last year. But even before that, I saw videos on YouTube of people calling out all the weird adult jokes in his show, with always like feet joke because he has a foot fetish. And I mean, telling teenagers to take off their socks and do foot jokes because you have a foot fetish is just creepy. But I think I didn't watch this on Paramount Plus. I watched it on Netflix, and when I rewatched it recently, and I heard that the Paramount Plus episodes, they actually edit out the adult content that was in the original broadcast because of who Dan Schneider is. And I still like this show regardless. I can separate the art from the artist, and I really wish that it got a big finale, like a big TV movie series finale. That would have been a better ending. I did like the spinoff Sam and Cat. Thought that was funny, but that was canceled too. Alright, I give this show 8 stars on IMDb and 2 thumbs up on here. Alright, that's my review. If you like it, please hit the like button, subscribe for more great content. Thank you and God bless.